uh, from QAtestingtraining.com, right? Let's get started. If you have any queries, you can please just send me in the chat box so that I'll reply to you. Someone is asking, can I download the PPT to my system? Yes, once after the session, we will mail PPT to you. Okay. So let's quickly start with our session. Yeah. So I don't want to just go in a theoretical approach. Yeah, my name is Venkatesh. We are from QAtestingtraining.com. Yeah. So I just don't want to go in a traditional way. Uh, Give me a moment. Okay. Fine. Yes. So let's straight away talk about important points regarding our today's discussion. Yeah. So first, what is selenium and why selenium and how the selenium role plays in the job market and the learning approach. These are the 4 points which we're gonna discuss in our agenda. Okay. So let's get started with the first slide. That's what is selenium. Yeah. So selenium, a word, came into existence, in the 2004 uh, from a ThoughtWorks company. A guy named Jason Huggins, was testing his internal application, and for his application, he has used some kind of Java API and tried to automate his application, and that was the base where Selenium was originated. So as you know all, this is an open source automation tool. Okay, there is no license for it, or you can directly download it from Selenium official site. Okay, this is what the main characteristic feature of Selenium. So there are functional tools available in the market for automation testing, but Selenium is the only tool which is an open source, web based. I say this is an web based. That means it works purely on web based applications. Okay, if you have any application which is window based, then this is not a right tool for it. Okay, but this is intended for web based. We cannot tell it is as a disadvantage that it doesn't work on window based, because whenever they started working on Selenium, they focused on only web based automation tool. It's intended for only web based. So that's the reason it is an open source, a pure web based automation tool. But you can also handle window based with the help of some workarounds. By involving Java code, you can also handle a window based. That doesn't mean that you cannot handle any window based with the help of Selenium. There are workarounds available by which you can perform. And as I said you, the Selenium word has a set of different tools. Each have a different approach for testing automation. It has many flavors. Now let's see that what are those. Okay, globally we say the name as Selenium, and it has very child tools uh, with a different kind of versions emerging from starting 2004 till now. And let's see this. What are the tools on overview? Second. Yeah, these are the flavors of Selenium available. One is IDE, RC, Grid, and WebDriver. Okay, these are the four versions released by the Selenium team. Starting from the IDE, now the current version is the WebDriver, and this is what now globally everyone is using, and officially the RC was depreciated now. Let's see in our coming slides. Let's discuss what this version does and what are the disadvantages and why the people came up with the RC, and again why the people came up with WebDriver. Okay, let's see all this now. Right now, why Selenium? Just we have a brief overview by telling that it is an open source tool and which is available for free, and it is a web-based automation tool. So that's the foremost a basic thing we need before we talk something about Selenium. Okay, it's a functional automation testing tool, and where you can automate your end-to-end of process flows. Right. Then why we need to go for Selenium? Okay, as a in a practical point of view, uh, people are interested in the futures most of the time, but not in license. Clients never expect this is getting for less price, or this has is a free of cost. Finally they want is which can help their project for successful release. That's what client aims at, apart from the license and all. Even in that manner, Selenium stands in the top. Let's see what are the main features for making a Selenium as a limelight in recent days. Okay, as we discussed, it is an open source tool, and one more thing, it is can be implemented in multiple languages. Okay, the Selenium code to automate your test cases can be written in multiple languages. You can do it in Python, Ruby, Java, PHP, and Perl. These are the languages in which you can write your Selenium code. If you are familiar with Java, you can write the code in Java, or if you are familiar with the Python or PHP language, even you can use that language to write your Selenium code. Okay, it can be done in multiple languages, but one thing here is, don't think assume that for example your application is built on Python, so that I have to use Python Selenium to automate that. No, that's the not right way. It is an independent of the application has built and language you used. For example, if application has some built on some PHP, still you can use Selenium Java to automate that particular application. Okay, it's independent of the language you use and application, where in what platform has built. Okay, you can use any language to automate any website which is built on any language. It's independent and there is no linkage on these two, but we have the future to write our code in different kind of languages. That's all up to the user, and he can decide where he's convenient to perform that operations. Okay, so mostly global wide Java is the very famous, so people write in using Selenium. And as I said, there is also C sharp, and people also prefer C sharp, especially if their application is entirely Internet Explorer. They may go for C sharp, and that's all up to the client and up to the company how they what language they use to write a Selenium code. So as I said, we have kind of options in our hand, right? That's the other more feature. And next is it's a platform independent. Okay, That means you can run your Selenium scripts in Windows as well as Mac machine as well as Unix and Solaris also. It will work in all the platforms available. This is only tool in the market which works in the Mac and Linux. Okay, and we have other testing tool, right? QTP, the functional testing tool, which is the leading in the market from last few years, but that is restricted to only for Windows. Okay, but using the Selenium, you can run also your scripts in multiple platforms. So it's just, we can tell it as it is platform independent. Okay, whatever the platforms available in the market, you can run your Selenium code in all the platforms available. Right? And that's one more feature you will get with using the Selenium. And the next, it supports multiple browsers. So this is, you know, kind of a change where people started looking towards Selenium. And we have support in Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari, and also extension to Opera. Okay, there was a support to Opera, but not in full-fledged way. Yeah, but still we have the 5 browsers available where you can test your application. Okay, and again I'm telling, this is the only tool available right now in the market to test your Selenium in multiple browsers. Okay, as I told you earlier, we have the QTP, but till 10.5 version it works only on Internet Explorer, and where you can run your scripts in a Firefox. They have extended their support for a Chrome, but not a complete full-fledged way, and you cannot record your scripts in the Chrome. Okay, there are some disadvantages, but because there is only tool where I can compare, because in the market, if someone asks you the functional testing tools available, we have only 2 options, that is QTP and Selenium, as that is a licensed product and it has restricted in terms of browsers. But whereas with Selenium, you can run your application in multiple browsers as well. So as you know, testing side, so we have to be sure that our application is working on, multiple browsers and also multiple platforms. And if that is your scenario, then Selenium is the right tool to support you in all the ways. Okay, and the next feature is it supports mobile automation also. So Selenium people have extended their support for Android and iOS. Okay, there are those mobile automation tools available in the market to test Android and iOS, like Robotium, Capybara. There are available open source tools, but even with Selenium also you can automate, Android and iOS applications. They have provided separate packages for it, where they can extend their support even to mobile automation, and they are still working on it. Okay, their aim is to make Selenium robust even in mobile platforms. So now how it is a pure robust tool in terms of browsers, even they want to achieve that in terms of mobile also. From last 6 months, they are putting a continuous effort by releasing a various latest versions to support their tool for mobile automation also. In coming days, we can expect full-fledged support of Selenium in terms of Android and iOS. Okay, so that's again boom. Now market is again looking towards mobile nowadays, and even our functional test can be integrated with our mobile tests also. Okay, that was the other feature. And one more uh, main feature was it supports a multi-threading. That means at a time you can start running more than one script. Okay, for example, there are 100 test cases available to you. Okay, those 100 test cases, if you have some 10 VMs available to you, you can start scheduling all your test cases parallelly in 10 VMs. Like per VM, start 10 at a time, like 10 into 10, 100 test cases. Okay, all that you can operate from one control, and uh, from one control you can operate all the 100 test cases in different machines from one machine. Okay, that concept is called Selenium Grid, right? There's a concept called Selenium Grid which will help you to run your test parallelly in a single machine or in multiple machines also. You can run and schedule your scripts in multiple machines from single point of view. Okay, tests parallelly in multiple machines at a time. And that's what our main features you can see with Selenium. Like it's open source and you can write your Selenium in multiple languages, and you can run your script in multiple browsers and also in multiple platforms. You can invoke scripts parallelly together, and it also has supports to mobile sub platforms. So that's what makes the Selenium to stand in the top from last one and a half year. But okay, let's go from the origination of Selenium and see how it emerged, and with a comparison of QTP tool. Okay, yeah, Selenium role in the job market. So I can answer your questions here, like comparing with QTP and other tools, like where exactly market stands now in terms of functional testing. Right. So as I told you, it's not a new tool. So it was emerged in 2004, but people started officially using it from 2006, where the blogs and official site has launched. Earlier, Selenium was called as RC, the remote control. Okay, it's a version 1.0, and in the terms of 2006, okay, if you strictly speak, Internet Explorer is only the leading browser at that time. Okay, you don't have Chrome and Firefox in the year 2006. In that duration, only Internet Explorer is an application, and most of the sites also only support IE. And you can see some messages even now, like it works only in Internet Explorer, please switch to your browser or something. But right now all browsers support, I mean all applications support all the browsers. But I'm speaking 7 years back, uh, IE is only the leading browser in the market. So Selenium guys has came out with an tool called Selenium 1.0 version called as RC. RC stands for remote control. And if you see, in that time, people started looking, comparing with QTP. So what more a Selenium can give compared to QTP? And there is no more features except license. Like Selenium is an open source where a QTP is not. Apart from that, there are no more features where Selenium provides us in that year. For example, there is no Google Chrome, and Firefox is in very little stages, and there is no Android, to say there is no mobile market in that year. And people doesn't look, uh, no, now if I talk about Selenium advantages, as I told you that it supports Chrome, Firefox, mobile marketing and all. But in that year, there is no scope of mobile testing and all. So till 2009, so No, there are no strong reasons for the clients and the companies to switch to Selenium from QTP. Both are equal in Internet Explorer. Okay, and as I told you, Google Chrome was just born in this period, and Firefox is just picking up, and there's no mobile market itself in that duration. And one more thing, RC does not support on Chrome and Firefox browsers also. There is not much robust in these browsers. So there is no scope of question like will QTP support Chrome and Android, because Chrome usage, if you see in the 2006 to 9 period, it's hardly less than 10% in the worldwide Chrome usage, whereas Internet Explorer stands in the 85 plus. 85% of the people in the worldwide using IE, and Chrome is very less than 10. And if you say the Selenium supports Chrome also, people will not switch to the Chrome. People will not switch to the Selenium for just sake of 8% or 5% people who are using the Chrome. Okay, so that's the reason people are still comfortable with QTP in the year 2006 to 9, though the Selenium is a tool available. Okay, I will be getting some questions from the people by saying when that Selenium emerged, the last year or before, as I'm hearing the word, continuously from last 1.5 year. Now, this is not a new tool; it's available from last 10 years, but these are the reasons why this does not come into limelight. And one more thing, there is no test management tool to integrate with Selenium RC, but whereas with QTP we have quality center integration that's missing with a Selenium. And Selenium is written in completely Java code, and whereas QTP has written with a VB scripting. And if you are new to coding part, of course both are new to you, but people who are working, who are existing functional testers, and they are comfortable with VB scripting, and they don't want to start freshly with a Java code to start automation with Selenium. As they are comfortable with VB scripting, they don't want to make the things again right from beginning by starting Java and implementing Selenium in their projects. And as I told, these commercial tools will be have more UI friendly, like we have separate APIs like look and feel, like everything will be present in the time of shortcuts. If you have QTP tool, you will know that. Whereas Selenium is a plain editor, and you have to write everything in terms of code. And people say the QTP also supports window based, and that's the reasons QTP holds the number 1 position in the period 2006 to 9. And there are little usage of Selenium due to these reasons, like there is no mobile support, no Chrome usage in the market, Firefox, and people who are comfortable with VB scripting are not intended to start their life freshly with Java again. Okay, these are the reasons in this period still QTP stands at number 1 position. Okay, now it's period from 2010 to 2011, and QTP 11 was out, the latest version in the late 2010. At the same time, Selenium WebDriver, new version of Selenium. Okay, so before the version was RC, and they have released other version called 2.0, which is called as WebDriver. There are some limitations with the old version RC. Okay, right now I cannot tell you the disadvantages. In our next session we'll discuss about it. But the new version Selenium 2.0 overcome the disadvantages which it possessed with this old version RC, and at the same time QTP 11 was out. But here comes a little twist, that WebDriver Selenium 2.0 version is not extend or not enhancement to the old version. Of course it is enhancement, but not in terms of coding. It's entirely new. Okay, people who are mastered in RC, they have to start again from the basics to learn Selenium 2.0 latest WebDriver version. Okay, because the code and syntax and terminology standards which you use to write your WebDriver code is completely different from your older version RC. It's not like extending additional features to make a new version of Selenium. It's a terminology and kind of architecture is entirely different, and people who have grip and experience also on RC also turn to a new beginners to Selenium. Okay, in this spirit, and people, it was very new, but it is very robust, and people takes time to get this, because still 2009 people are comfortable with RC, and suddenly Selenium guys came out with a new version, and people took their own time to learn it. And at the same time, qtp 11 has released, and they have supported, extended their support for Firefox. Okay, that's the reason still people are comfortable with qtp, like though the Selenium is out, and there are not much testers available in the market who have complete grip on WebDriver, as it is the latest tool, and its and terminology is entirely different compared to old version. And people has to start again from the basics. And meanwhile, qtp has released one more version with additional features, so people still stick with qtp in the period from 2010 to 11, right? And here comes the actual change in the market. From the 2012, things got changed very fast. Selenium WebDriver is turned to a robust tool with a continuous effort by the Google guys. One thing, for a WebDriver implementation, all the browsers are active participants. That means now in Selenium implementation, in the team, Google Chrome, Firefox, and Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, all these browser teams are partners of Selenium WebDriver implementation. Okay. Now, for example, tomorrow some Firefox other version is going to release. The Firefox, as I told, they are partners of Selenium. Those browser people are responsible to make sure that Selenium supports the latest Firefox browser. Okay, so all these browsers are also active participants in the WebDriver, and due to their continuous effort, it has become robust, and without any failures, it has become robust in terms of Chrome, Firefox, IE, and in Safari. And at the same time, if you see the browser usage, Google Chrome stands on the top by actually occupying the entire browser market. It stood somewhere around 80% plus. Okay, browser usage in the market, things got reversed from 2006 to 12. Google Chrome, went 80 plus, and IE drastically decreased, whereas 40, even Firefox stands next to Chrome. And testing in Chrome and Firefox has came into limelight. Okay, as a quality assurance tester, you need to make your application working well when user is trying to invoke your application. That's our main motto. But as I told you, above 80% people are opening your application either in Chrome or Firefox. Now I can tell you that even you are looking this seminar, this demo on maybe on Chrome or maybe on Firefox. Okay, things got changed, and people want to test their application in these browsers. They want their application to be stable in these browsers. For that, they have only tool available to them to check this, that is Selenium. Okay, Selenium entirely supports Chrome and Firefox, and it's very fast in terms of Chrome, and it has support for Safari also. And these are the three browsers where people are using mostly. You can go back to Google and just type browser usage uh, in global wide and some kind of keywords. You'll be getting graphs, and you see that Chrome stands on the top, followed by the Firefox in terms of usage. Okay, so this is the only tool available for you to test in kind of different browsers, whereas qtp fails to handle the Chrome. you need to download some separate patching for it, and even that you have an issues for it, that it cannot handle separate tabs. There are some technical problems with the QTP, and you cannot record your script in Chrome. And but whereas with Selenium you can handle all the browsers in a robust way. And also mobile market has came into limelight again. People, most of the users are checking their application in Android and iOS. And even to test the mobile you can use Selenium uh, to test your Android applications, whereas QTP fails to handle these. All this makes the people to look towards the WebDriver, Selenium. It is an open source and it has support for top two browser usage in the market, that is Chrome and Firefox, whereas QTP is failing to handle it. Now IE is drastically decreased in terms of usage. It lies some around 20 to 25%. So there's no point of view now in testing your regression in IE. That's what a people mindset is changing, and that's the reason Selenium is getting day by day, the tool usage and tool implementation as implementing in the market. Yes, UFT, they have came up with a new version called UFT 11.5 that seems to support Chrome and Mozilla. Yeah, so you are asking that will it go up again as I have UFT 11.5. And one thing I'll tell you, QTP 11, I mean UFT 11.5 is not an extension to QTP. So they have launched one, tool to make it support, but still it has some disadvantage, like it cannot identify the Flex applications or cross browser testing. It has still problems with Google Chrome. UFT 11.5, UFT 11.5 supports the Chrome, but still there are issues, and that can be achieved with the help of Selenium without any issues. See, market ups and downs, but everything comes with a freeware here. And also parallel testing is also one main feature, that you can run your test parallelly in multiple machines from a single point of control. And as I told, these all the browsers are active participants in Selenium implementation. And this is going to be more robust. And I'll show you the graph. As I told you, a lot of communities, blogs, trainings are out for a WebDriver, and this knowledge is spread throughout the testing globe. And it's very easy to learn Selenium, though you are a Java beginner. And with the, as they have made a language in such a way, it's very simple to learn WebDriver and implement. And all these situations make the market look towards the WebDriver. And as I agree that till 2011 QTP stands in the top, but things got entirely changed from last year, and because of latest technologies getting updated in the market. And I'll show you the graph. See that this is a graph which I have taken from Indeed site. This is a global site posting jobs, and you can see that QTP market has stopped on the year 2011, but it drastically decreased in 2013. And Selenium is a blue bar. It has increased. Yes, it has some up and downs. That's due to fluctuations in the market, but that again uh, gets some momentum. But you see, comparison between QTP and Selenium in 2012, QTP starts decreasing and Selenium increasing entirely. That's the reason, like Chrome support, Firefox support, mobile support, and running tests in parallel, as it is open source, and all this making people to look towards the Selenium. And this is a live example for you to show in the job how the things got drastically changed in just 1 year. In just 2012 the entire graph has fallen and of QTP, and whereas Selenium entire graph has increased. See, the major changes occurred in just 1 year, and this will continue. because Selenium is putting continuously effort to make it more and more robust. Maybe Qtp comes with, as you told, UFT 11.5 has extended its support to Chrome, and they may come up with one more version called 12 in the next year. But you know, till now, open source and commercial tool, if they compare, commercial tool stands top in terms of features. So client doesn't want to go with a license, they want a perfect tool with the features, so they have adopted Qtp. But now in terms of features, Selenium tops on the top, I mean stands on the top. So as you told, Qtp may reach again Selenium by providing all these features. But if they are both are equal in terms of providing features, then license comes into future. The only tool is a freeware, and you have to pay many bucks for it. Okay, so that's the reason I can tell you, changes from 2006 to 12. Many people are having the doubt, QTP is number one. Yes, it is number one, but I can show that things got changed from the last year, and now we can, tell that Selenium is the top in the market, and that will, even as the agile environment is getting more and more in nowadays, and Selenium is the right tool to where you can implement agile methodologies. Okay, so that's what my brief introduction about how it came in the job market and how it affected job market from last 6 years. So I'm just telling that this is not a new tool, just emerged last year. It was there from earlier, but due to these reasons, QTP stands still on the top, but due to continuous changes in the market, finally it has beaten the QTP. So that's what this graph says, and you can go back and check for IBM rational RFT, and you can see the job share here by just typing in Google Indeed.com job trends. I guess it will be very less compared to QTP also. Okay, now that's what about a job market. Now just briefly see about our introduction of how to master in Selenium, or the ways how to learn Selenium in it, just fast track learning in just 15 days or a 1 month. How can you get mastered in this Selenium? That's what we'll be looking into now. Oh, give me a moment. So we have some special strategy in making. So our official site is qatestingtraining.com, where we provide Selenium training. From last 2 years, we are providing the training on different testing tools, and even on Selenium we have handled more than 20 plus batches. Okay, there are, as I told you, there are different kind of flavors for you to learn Selenium, like ID, RC, WebDriver. But I'm telling you, Selenium guys has officially announced that RC is depreciated. That means the latest version is WebDriver, on which they are working now. In future also, if there are any implementations, they will make only on WebDriver but not on old versions like RC. Okay, that is completely depreciated product, and WebDriver is the one which you want to learn, and that's what it's implementing all over the globe now, because this has support to mobile and all, where RC doesn't have the support, and that's the reason they came out with a new version. Okay, so if you see the syllabus where we start, okay, IDE is a record and playback tool, Selenium IDE, but still I'll discuss in the next class about explanation about each tool. Okay, but I don't want to start my course with a record and playback tool. That will go the wrong signs to the users. So whenever he fails to identify his object or something, he'll just record and get that object. So that's the reason I'll directly start my training from coding itself, like WebDriver. Without a recording and without getting an object, I will make my people to automate the Selenium applications with the help of WebDriver code. Okay, I just don't depend on any record and playback tools. Everything I'll be beginning in terms of code, and you can see Okay, I'll start with WebDriver and I'll teach you all the functionalities with WebDriver. You can go back to this link and verify. And this is what our future is. WebDriver is a tool, the latest version. And by the end of the course, you can take any application over the internet and you can apply any scenario and you can test that scenario with the help of Selenium WebDriver. That's what our main motto is. By the end of the course, we covered all the practical, concepts which can be, we can face in the real time, and we have covered in all the browsers: Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, and running in different browsers. Okay, we have, you can go here and check the syllabus. You may have, some other sites where they provide multiple content by saying we'll be showing RC these many content, RC these many days, or we'll provide you training. But one thing I'll show you, there is no use of learning RC, and you may get confused, and finally you may end up with a kind of confusion if you concentrate on RC, because RC and WebDriver are entirely different worlds. And now Selenium runs everything on WebDriver only. So you need to have WebDriver basics from the right. Okay, so that's what our intention. We mainly focus on latest version WebDriver, and we will give you the practical projects at the end of the each module, and we provide exercises and day by day. And if you are not, have a time to attend a training, we also provide videos for you. Oh, you can also access the videos like Selenium. You can go back and check our videos quality. There are free videos available for us. You can go back and check the quality of videos, and even you can purchase the videos, like everything. But don't think that if by providing videos there will not be any online support. So I will be available for you in every weekend. So if you are not familiar with any class in the videos, so I can arrange you the session specially for that particular video where you are not properly getting the things on it. So that doesn't mean that there will be no live interaction with the trainer. Whenever you get the doubt, you can directly mail to him and he will get back to you in 24 hours maximum. Or if you want to set up any session, then it will be available to you on weekends or any weekday based upon you and trainer availability. So I'll be taking care of this and all. So you can take the videos also, but if you want to attend the live training, even you can do that. We are starting the new batch from, one second. We're starting the new batch from July 15th. At the same time, 13 days duration will be there, but you may get doubt, will it come finished in 13 days? We have a kind of 20 videos available to us. 13 live sessions we provide. Apart from that, we will be giving you the videos, and if you missed any course, you can access the videos also. And this is the video library preview where you get all these videos apart from live training. Okay, so if you miss any session also, we will provide you the recording video of that session. And we also extend our discussion and Android testing, also mobile testing. And not only the Selenium, we also concentrate on framework, because if you are to implement your Selenium project in real time, you need to have a robust framework. Okay, so we will be telling the ways to start to build a framework, and kind of we use different kind of framework methodologies, or data driven or hybrid or page object. So let's decide when we progress in the training which framework to choose, that based upon your convenient. I can teach you any framework that based upon your suggestion. I will give you the basics of how to develop framework and all, and that's the main actually. Your goal will not end by just learning Selenium. There should also be a framework. That's what companies or clients expect you to be familiarized with. Apart from that, as I will, we have videos on Selenium Grid also, running tests in parallel, and there is a kind of tool called Maven, continuous integration tool. These are additional open source tools which may required in a framework. That's the reason I have even extended our Selenium content in by taking framework parts also, and we have also given mobile testing with the help of Android. We have everything. Okay, so basically by not wasting on the time, by providing more videos on recording and playback, we'll directly jump into coding and everything. Every video have some live application automating. I have used many kind of browsers over the internet for Selenium testing, and up to 10 to 15 websites I have used. Everything is on live. Okay, so practical implementation oriented training we provide here, and you can check back our videos, free videos. You can subscribe to us and check our free videos. We have many users subscribe to us, and I have did more than 20 batches on it. Okay, so that's what we are starting the new batch from July 15th. So that's what about Selenium history and Selenium market right now. And this is right time to learn Selenium and right time to learn in coding approach, because the learning should be useful in practical and real time, where you should be able to develop a project at your place or to crack an interview. For that, approach should be in a coding way. I'll be teaching from basics. If you are not familiar with Java also, don't worry. Whenever a Java concept is required, I will pass the Selenium discussion. I'll switch back to Java. I will make you the content clear, and I'll come back to Selenium. Okay, if you are a beginner also, not a problem. I'll start from the basics, and at the end of the course I'll make you to familiarize in such a way that you can automate any web application with any kind of test case which you have arrived in your mind. Okay, with an framework introduction, framework basics, as well as mobile testing. So that's what our course is. And